conservative Republicans and stuff like that. So I remember seeing him on YouTube one day because I like to do a lot of stuff. And then I thought he was
Ba-ba-da-bum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Happy Sunday. How is everyone feeling this morning? Oh, not bad. That was pretty good, I have to say. There's been better, but there's been worse. Just wanted to make a few announcements here for maybe some of the first-timers or the repeat offenders who like to hear me talk. If you need to use the restroom at any time during the service, it's back through that door and to the left. If you get lost along the way, TJ is back there. He's wearing a jacket that has the Lakers logo on it. Looking sharp. Nice mustache.
Like Hitler.
If you wouldn't, nice. If you wouldn't mind, please check your cell phones. Silence the cell phones. Thank you. Right off the jump, checking the cell phones. A lot of people not checking the cell phones. Don't appreciate it. It's going to be awkward if they go off. I'll say it again. Silence the cell phones, please. Anyways, no food or drink. I think everyone's covered on that before, during, or after the service. Anyways, this is a fellowship, so if you have a question or comment anytime during the service, raise your hand. I will bring you a mic. Samuel will bring you a mic. And if you could, please hold the mic in the fashion that I am holding it, so everyone in here, as well as at home, can hear you crystal clear. If you happen to be looking at the chat, they complain a lot, but they have high standards, so just hold the mic just so. And as far as the announcements go, that's all for me. Thanks for coming. Happy Sunday.
Amazing. Did they clap for you last Sunday night when you did it? They did? They did clap? It was, what? I mean for Nick. Oh, you did? It was so boring, I don't remember what happened. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. Just joking. Sammy, how was your little interview today?
Oh, it was great.
Oh, yeah? Good morning. Welcome to church. I am Jesse Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our chat line on the YouTube channel there, and Hank will get your questions and comments to me. Thank you so much. And thank you all for coming. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Amazing morning, right? Amazing. It's so hot out there. Nice. Not so hot, but it's so nice out there right now. Any questions or comments or anything? Especially for the new timers who came a long ways. And hi, any questions?
No questions.
This is your first time here, though?
My first time.
What's your name?
Morrissey.
So, Marcy, how did you find us?
Through YouTube.
Oh, okay. And what was your first impression?
Of you?
Yeah.
At first I thought you were saying the great white hoe. My apologies.
That's all right.
Then I noticed a lot of my friends follow you, and I was wondering why they were following it. I thought you were insulting Trump, but then I started listening to your videos, and I noticed that you just keep it 100. So I would send your videos to my brother and to my father.
Yeah.
And they loved it. So every morning I wake up and I make coffee for myself and my father, and we watch you, and we just, I love how you just put everyone in their place, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I think you're funny, but I love your cadence, and I love how calm you are, because I just think that's a gift.
It is from God, too.
From God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He doesn't want his children overreacting to the world.
Right.
So he makes it so you don't overreact. Have you forgiven your mother and stuff?
No.
And why not?
I don't know, because I don't know. I have not, no.
Really? Are you afraid to do it?
I'm not afraid to do it, but it's the things that happen in my family are constantly going through my mind all the time.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I'm triggered by events.
Yeah.
So
So it's going through your minds through your mind, and you're triggered by what you remember?
yeah, so certain things in life, I'm triggered by it, and then I'll remember it from my childhood,
Yeah.
things like that. I forgave my father, that's my buddy, that's my best
Right
friend.
on. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you have to forgive your mother so you can get over the mind thing.
I agree with you.
So what are you waiting for?
No, I love my mama.
No, you don't. Oh, we love my mama. If you love your mother, you will forgive your mother.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
What is it like knowing that you're an adult and you're afraid to go to your mother to say, I'm sorry for resenting you?
It's awkward.
That's weird, huh? Mm-hmm. And do you know it's abnormal to be afraid of your mother?
Yeah, of course it's abnormal. Yeah.
So how are you gonna overcome that if you don't go to her?
You're right. Yeah. No, I know. You'll say.
See?
See?
I would-
Hola.
See, gracias. I wouldn't put off today what I could, tomorrow what I could do today because
Right.
life is only promised to you now. I would, knowing what the situation is, knowing you need to forgive, and not doing it, that's not good.
I
It'd
agree.
be different if you didn't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So go face her. Take your father with you. You guys are tear her down.
We've tried, but she's like,
What, you tried to what?
we've tried to speak with her and say sorry and stuff like that, but like she'll fight back all the time.
But let her fight back. It's okay. You just say, yeah, I'm here to forgive you. I'm sorry for resenting you. And God will forgive you because you don't need her to apologize or admit or anything. God got it set up so nice where he will forgive you for resenting her. And it's up to her what she does.
Yeah.
So it's really easy set up that way. It'd be hard if we can only be free if they said, okay, I'm sorry, we'd be in trouble. But God got it set up for us and he will forgive.
Right.
So do it, all right?
I will. Thank you.
Yeah, and then those trigger memories you have would disappear. They would
Right.
start to get away from you. All right?
Gotcha. Yes.
Any questions or disagreements or anything?
No, I don't. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Amazing. Why not?
I agree with you 100%. I watch you every day.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I do.
My
Appreciate it.
pleasure.
Okay. This your first time here too?
Yes.
And what's your name?
Viviana.
Viviana.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Have you heard the shows too?
First time? No.
You never heard the
No,
show?
not at all.
So you don't even know what this is about?
No.
Oh, Lord. Buckle up.
I'm just supporting my cousin, so I'm here with her.
Nice. Okay. No, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
This your first time?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it is my first time.
And what's your name?
Marissa,
Marissa, how did you hear about us?
from this guy actually earlier this year showed me your podcasts.
Who is that?
My friend.
Oh, you don't really know who he is?
Not fully, no.
She said, this guy.
Can you ever?
Have you heard any of the shows or anything?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, I listen to you pretty frequently.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, since
What do you think of the shows?
Took a while for me to fully understand everything, but there was something inside me that said to stick with you and hear you out. And
Oh, okay.
a lot of what you said eventually made sense when I started waking up. So,
Right on.
Yeah.
Did you go and forgive?
like her, I've forgiven my father, but I'm working on the mother thing.
And how are you working on it?
Just trying to muster up the courage and praying for that from God. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Well, we always thought the men were the bullies and really the mothers.
Yeah, my parents in the past few years split due to their own personal differences, obviously. In the modern sense, my dad messed up, so he was very open to forgiveness anyway, so that was a lot easier.
Right on.
My mother, however, was more, I guess, what you would say like the victim in a sense, or she's playing that role. So she's a lot more defensive about stuff still.
And so what do you think will happen if you went to her? In your mind, what is telling you going to
Oh,
happen?
I see a lot of very emotional tears. Maybe some flip tables where she tries to accuse me of a few things why it's not so easy to fight the things that she's fighting, which I'd be forgiving her for, but moms are usually defensive, so.
Right. And you don't know for sure that that's going to happen, but because
No.
it's happened in the past, your mind tells
Yes,
you
yeah.
that that's what's going to happen, right?
And it's harder because I see those things like the emotional tears and getting upset very easily. I used to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Still do, obviously, slip. But it's harder when you know you're going to face something that you saw in yourself and don't want to see in yourself anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So, like she said, it's almost a sense triggering. Again, I don't want to slip myself.
I recommend you go and do it, and because you won't become brave until after you do it.
Yeah.
You can't muster up the courage to do it. You have to do it with the fear, and by facing the fear, you will overcome it,
Right.
and you'll be fine. But there's always going to happen. You're not going to be strong and then do it. You become strong afterward because she controls you right now. She took your courage away.
Yeah.
So you got to phase her. And when you're telling her, if she start crying, you see how you're looking at me?
Yeah.
She start crying. You just, oh, she crying. What the? And then you say, I just want to forget. Not my fault. Your daddy did it. And you just look at her like you're looking at a crazy movie. And let her act out, really. Just let her act out. It's not you. It's not personal. It's her refusing to face herself. And it has nothing to do with you. And you'll walk away free.
It's true.
And you will never be afraid again. You will overcome fear.
Yeah, if I stood up to her, I feel like I could stand up to a whole lot other
You'll
things.
be able to stand up to the world like
Yeah.
now they're going now. And the way things are going in the world today, we need people of courage. We really do. We need love. And when you show her love by forgiving her, God will give you courage along with the love. Come courage. But you got to stand up to her.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the year, hopefully, I'll find the time.
By the end of the year,
Well, sometime between now. I have to give myself some loose boundaries. Sooner better than later, but
yeah, because as I just told the young lady here, tomorrow's not promised to you.
yeah,
All you have is right now.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Any questions or disagreements about anything you've heard so far?
Anything I had questions about over the past year with you have kind of gotten answered over time, so I can't think of anything as of right now.
Right on. Nice. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Yeah,
All
glad to
right.
be here. His
Yes,
turn?
sir.
Yes, hello Jesse.
Hey, buddy, what's your name?
My name's Ali.
Hey, Ali.
Yeah,
Oh, are you a boxer?
I'm trying to be. I'm not.
Really?
Just for fun though.
Oh, I was just joking. Nice. Though.
Yeah.
And how did you hear about us?
Through a Ukrainian friend
Really?
about 5 years ago, something like that. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And what's your impression of the show and stuff?
Right now, I love it.
Oh,
I
good,
think
man.
it's great. Trying to get to that place of where I can consider myself a man. I moved out of mama's house this year.
How old are you now?
I just turned 30 in October.
30? And you just now moved out, mama? house?
I know. I
Man.
know. It sucks.
And what made you move now?
I-
Why did you decide to move now?
Well, I got my degree and got a job and I moved.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good, man. I'm glad you moved.
thank you. Yeah.
Any questions about anything? Or disagreements and all that?
Disagreements, not so much. I do have a question though. So I met this young lady next to me. I
Who's your
ordered-
lady?
This is Marissa. This is
Oh,
her.
you remember
Yeah.
her name?
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all don't seem to know each other's names.
We're trying to distance each other a little bit right now. Yeah, but I ordered her online, during the pandemic, trying to date and stuff. And so now we're trying to do things the right way,
Yeah.
but, I feel like a lot of the damage has been done. And so my question to you is, do you have any suggestions on how we can get back on track?
Yeah. If you were to get to know yourself, both of you, know yourself, and you see how messed up you are, because we're all born into sin, so everybody's screwed up. There's not one that's not screwed up, right? And if you get to know yourself, you'll forgive her and she will forgive you. It'll be a brand new. Because true forgiveness is to forget. And now that you both are trying to, return to the Father and do the right thing, and you realize in that fallen state, nobody can judge nobody. And when you come out of it, you can't judge either because we're all the same, right? And so you forgive whatever has happened, let it go. And then you can start off right. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
And to forgive means don't bring it up anymore. Don't get into it at all. And just, especially if you apologize for what you've done, and just let it go. But you got to forgive.
Yeah. So would you say I should apologize for being a beta?
For being beta?
Yeah. I know. Because really, it's
Well,
like
you couldn't help but be beta because we were born into mothers through the mother.
Right.
So all men are betas until they forgive.
Yeah.
But whatever happened, you don't have to say here, but whatever happened, you can apologize for it. She'll let it go because she can't judge it. She's no better.
Yeah.
And you're no better. So you'll see that. I'm telling you, to start out brand new, it'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were dating for a little bit, for about a year, and then I decided I need to be single for a while, and when I started making those changes in my life,
Yeah.
like the moving out and everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm been alone for about 2 months now, and
How does it feel to be alone?
it's amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
you like it better to be with her?
Oh no, it's not in that way. Whoa, Jesse, I have a 5-hour drive. Like, come on, come on.
All right.
Sorry, I forgot what you were going to say.
Where you from?
We're originally from Odessa. I'm in Monterey right now, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so you've been alone for 2 weeks because you moved away from your parents?
Right.
Oh,
right.
I got you.
Yeah, since September.
And so what's the problem with that?
Well, we're broken up. Single. We're single.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
you guys not dating each other?
No, not anymore.
You don't like him?
Can't say that.
You still like him?
Yeah.
You haven't forgiven him for whatever he did?
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh, have you forgiven her?
Well, that's what I was trying to say. It's not that I've done anything to hurt her. It's more like we were just dating the way Americans date, like
The way Americans
sex
date?
before marriage.
Oh,
and,
I see.
And the drinking and all that stuff.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if both of you were doing it, I don't understand what the problem. You can't judge each other for that.
Yeah. I guess I'm judging myself, really, is what it is.
Oh, you're judging yourself.
I think so.
And why?
It's a great question. I don't understand. I just feel like there's a standard that I've come across through people like you and others,
Right.
and I know I'm not there.
But why are you judging that though?
I don't know.
And that's the problem. Human beings judge themselves, right? And the reason they judge themselves because they've been trained to judge themselves. They've been told that the vices are the problem, when that's not the problem. It's the heart that's the problem. But you can't help but do the things you've done because you have been turned away from the Father. You have anger in your heart. So all the stuff you've done, you couldn't help it.
Yeah.
And God is not judging you for that. Why would you judge yourself? And you see that you couldn't help yourself but do it. Most people don't want to go out and destroy themselves. They don't want to go out and be alcoholics and drug addicts and all that stuff, but they can't help it.
Yeah.
So why judge yourself for something you couldn't help yourself with?
Yeah, I think ultimately, if I had to answer that, I think it's because I feel like I'm a hypocrite.
Like you're a hypocrite?
Yeah.
Compared to what? Everybody a hypocrite.
I know.
The one that said they're not doing it, lying. They may not
Yeah.
drink, but they're doing something else.
Yeah.
Because all are born in sin, so you're doing something.
Yeah.
And that's not our concern. The concern is the heart.
Yeah.
So don't compare yourself to anyone. That way you don't see yourself as a hypocrite.
That's a good point.
Let them do what they do, you do what you do. You got to take your own road. You got to travel your own road.
Would you say I should travel my own road for a good while?
I mean, once you return to the Father, He will guide you down the road. You'll be fine.
Okay.
And what do you mean by travel your own road for a little while? Without dating?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh.
kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to date again right now?
I don't know. something inside me tells me I need that time to myself.
Well, just be honest with her about it.
Yeah.
Be a
and I-
man.
And I am. I try to be.
You're a grown man.
As of like 2 months. Yeah.
And so the way you become strong in these kind of moments, now you're on your own, you like your freedom, you don't really want to date right now, and just say, no, I don't want to date right now. She'll appreciate that better. She might not like it at first, but she'll appreciate you said it. And then you'll be happy because if you start dating now and you don't really want to, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen if you say, I really don't, I like this freedom I have right now and I don't want to date anymore for now? What do you think will happen?
Well, that's actually it. I've already said that, and we're still friends. Like, we're here on a trip, so it's good, I guess.
So what's the problem then?
The sinning, Jesse.
So you're still sinning after you don't want to date, you say?
Oh yeah.
And that's not a sin. That's something you should not do. The sin is of the heart, and you can't stop that. You should try to not do it, but you can't stop it until the Father, He would take that away from you. He will cause you to overcome that. Don't judge yourself for it. And it's not something you just jump up and do, right? You're trying to avoid it. But you can't stop yourself from that. That's another thing. Of ourselves, we could absolutely do nothing. And of ourselves, we absolutely know nothing. It's a spiritual battle. So you need to stop judging that so you can overcome it. He would cause you to overcome it.
Yeah.
We can't. When God caused me to wake up, that was the first thing I realized. Wow, I can't do anything about this. Because I was judging myself with my vices, right? Because I had believed a lie that we had to overcome that we can make ourselves overcome, and I was struggling with it. I would go to church, ask the preachers, they're like, oh, you need to read the Bible some more. I read the Bible. And I did everything they said, and that didn't work. But it wasn't until He changed my heart from anger to love. And then I saw that, wow, I can't absolutely do nothing. We're totally weak. But the ego doesn't want you to think that. It's enough to know that you don't want to be doing that now, and he'll stop you. He'll take the taste away.
Thank you.
But if you judge it, He can't take it away because you're playing God. Once I woke up, I had no more judgment about anything, myself or anyone else. No one. It just took it all away. And that's why you can deal with the issues of life without overreacting to them. Animals overreact to things. Sons and daughters of God be still and go through it. They overcome it. They don't overreact. So let that go. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Oh no.
What?
No. I'm
You
not.
heard about it?
I have heard.
Why are you not doing it?
I don't.
Well, suffering died in. What the?
I know. I know.
We could have ended this conversation a long time ago. How do you expect to get over it if you don't be still and let the Father take care of you? How do you expect to get over it?
I don't expect it. Like, I know, it's almost like I'm kind of just soaking in the, I don't know, just can't think of the word. Like settled into it almost.
Oh, into suffering?
Yeah.
You settle into being wrong? What do you mean you settle into what?
I don't know. It's like I've been searching and I think I've found some answers, and it's time to do the change, but I'm kind of stuck in that.
Oh, do the silent prayer.
Yeah.
Morning and night. I have to do it for 32 years, nonstop, morning and night, and it's just been amazing.
Yeah.
If you want to really, really overcome, you got to be still and let go. Let God's will be done. Because it's a spiritual battle, and really there's nothing we can do about it. Not zero. Reading about it is not going to stop it. Praying about it, hooping and hollering, carrying on, not going to stop it. Going to church every day, not going to stop it. Being still would stop it. He would cause you to overcome.
Yeah.
And it's a nasty world out there right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to get worse. And so you want to be ready for it. But you got to do the silent prayer.
Yeah. I do have one more question, if that's all right.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
just thought
fine.
of it.
Absolutely.
So I kind of heard about you about 4 or 5 years ago. Before that, I had a long history of like with my parents, and like they're constantly trying to divorce or separate, you know, along as I was growing. And so I had a lot of anger with both of them.
Right.
Just consequently, and they were decent parents. They tried, but
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you know, immigrants, it's hard for them.
Yeah, it's hard on the immigrants.
Yeah.
That's what the black say. It's hard on the black man in America.
Yeah.
White people need to start saying that now. It's hard on the white man in America. Might as well. Everybody else saying it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but anyway, so along the way, you know, over the years, in a way, I feel like I did forgive it. I did say I forgive you for the things that happened along the way to both of them at different times.
Right.
And so now I'm stuck to where she's at about should I go forgive them again? Where inside I've thought about it a lot. I don't have any anger. I've kind of let go of all that.
Right.
I feel nothing but like peace with them. I try to stay away from them because they're annoying. But you know, the 1 or 2 days that I'm around them, I'm okay. Like
Right.
I could deal with them.
Yeah.
Would-
And so your question is what?
Do you think that I should go and forgive them?
Not if you
No?
don't see that. If you don't see you need to, don't.
Okay.
Don't do it just because someone said it. You have to see it for yourself.
Right.
And if you see you need to, you will. If not, if you've already done it, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's why I want you to do the silent prayer, because all that's hidden from you will be revealed to you.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't have it, no, you're fine.
Yeah. And I
It
feel
sounds like you just need to do the silent prayer.
I was about to say that. It sounds like that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can start speaking up and
Yeah.
overcome all this emotional stuff.
Yeah.
You know, worry about how someone's gonna feel or how you're gonna feel, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Really, you need to do the silent prayer
Yeah. I know.
because you still believe your thoughts. And are you convinced yet that all thoughts are all lies all the time?
Yeah, about 90% there. I
Okay.
still, you know, sometimes you do kind of question yourself, like, wait a second.
Right.
But then you have to remind yourself, like, oh, no, let go.
Well, do the prayer so the light of the Father should shine on the darkness of the mind.
Yeah.
Because the mind, the thoughts are wicked.
Yeah.
They are like wicked, deceiving, evil, wicked. I had no idea how wicked the thoughts are. The more I learned about them, the more I realized how wicked they are.
Yeah.
And people who believe in thoughts are wicked people. And it's not them, but it's that thing that's made a home in them. So you really want to be separated from the darkness, and the light will cause you to overcome the darkness. But you can't make it happen.
Yeah.
So do the prayer. You sound fine, man. Do the prayer.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I feel fine. This isn't like heavy stuff. It's just like
Right, it's
almost
not.
like a reminder.
Yeah.
And to see you in person and to be able to ask you and hear it from you directly,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Well, do the prayer, man. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And so when you wanted to tell your ex now that you didn't want to get back together, were you like, I got something to tell you.
She's gonna get angry, but so the weekend.
See,
the
look,
week-
don't worry about her.
No, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. So the weekend after we had broken up, I went back home. It was my birthday, and my sister got a little dinner together. And she's like, "Oh, Ollie, I didn't know whether you were heartbroken and I should invite her or not." And I just started laughing, because heartbroken.
Ooh, wee.
That was a
Who's
lot. It was a
driving,
lot.
you or her?
She, you want
She
to-
driving?
No,
Oh,
no,
oh,
no
okay.
way, not at all.
I recommend that for all of you that you start dealing with these little things now, because the little things in life will make you stronger and stronger and stronger. And when the major stuff comes, and it will come, you'll be ready for it. It's like a growing thing. You got to deal with little issues. You got to face them, forgive, so you can grow in strength. Because as you become sons and daughters of God, the enemy coming for you. So you want to be ready for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't be afraid to be honest with people. Just don't resent them.
right.
All right? That's all. But do the silent prayer. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right? Okay. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
If I think of more, I'll ask.
All
Thank
right,
you.
hon.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Any question about any of this conversation? Or anything you want to say about that?
No questions. I mean, like he kind of brought up, we had this conversation a few months ago, and I found it very easy to not. I mean, like you said, I didn't like it when it was happening, but
Right.
just everything I've kind of learned from you and he's helped me with, and I figured out throughout the years, kind of helped me get to the point where I do have to remind myself in those moments when I start overreacting or getting emotional, like, you're fine. I kind of just tell myself, you're safe, God's with you, wherever I am. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was pretty easy to, I guess, forgive. I didn't feel like there was much to forgive. He was just being honest. So.
Nice. Are you doing the prayer?
No, I need to be better about that too. I do it every once in a while when it's like emergency moments, but it should be constant. Pray without ceasing.
So when things get rough, you're like, oh, Lord, let me go
Yeah.
pray.
Pull back on the reins a little bit.
I would recommend that you do it all the time,
Yeah.
you know, every morning, every night, and during the day, just kind of be aware. Because in those moments where you look like things are fun and no problems, you're not growing. You only grow when you overcome difficult times. But you want to stay with the Father. That's why he says, pray without ceasing. Because the devil is busy all the time.
Yeah.
And you never know when you try to tempt you or come upon you, or a situation will happen, you won't be ready for it.
Yeah.
And you'll find yourself overreacting.
Yes.
And that's what he wants you to do, is to overreact, meaning Satan.
Oh, I know.
Because every time you overreact, he draws you more into the darkness. Yeah.
But yeah, your idea on all thoughts are lies has helped me a lot this year because I had a problem with overthinking. So.
Yeah.
And then when I stop and I'm like, why am I even thinking this, or what
That's right.
is the evidence for this thought? I don't know. It's
Just the
helped a lot.
awareness of it is amazing.
Yes. it is.
Absolutely amazing. Nice. Well, good.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Is this your first time here, sir?
Yes.
Nice. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
Glenn, started seeing your videos here and there on YouTube.
Oh, okay. And any questions or disagreements or anything?
We agree on a lot.
Is there one thing we don't agree on?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
But
mean,
it's not a big deal.
it's not a big deal?
No,
Oh, okay. You don't want to ask me about it?
not necessary.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer and all that?
No.
And why not?
Good question.
It's okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, man.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really, really, anybody else first time? No. It's really amazing that that people don't do the prayer. And that you let Satan talk you out of it. Because it's not you talking you out of it. It's Satan talking you out of it. Really, because he does not want you to be still. And it's easy to do that hoop and holler prayer. Oh, bless me, Lord. Good morning, God. Have mercy. It's hard for the ego to sit still. I was thinking about the difference between the inner world and the outer world. And the outer world teaches us that anger is good, that you need a little anger to protect yourself, right? And they said anger is your defense. If you don't have anger, you're not going to be able to defend yourself, you're not going to be able to protect yourself. But the inner world says to forgive. Let it go. The outer world says that it's about racism and sexism, all these isms. But the inner world says it's between good and evil. It's a spiritual battle. That's what we're dealing with, right? The outer world says that we should hoop and holler and carry on for God, right? But the inner world says, be still and know the Father. Of ourselves we know nothing, we can do nothing. The outer world tell you to that you can change yourself. They have now convinced human beings to put your vices out there in the world and tell everybody about them. Whatever your vice is, tell you about it, right? As though they can do something about it, and they can't. They can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. And they end up judging you once they find out what your vice is. They'll judge you. But the inner world says, I'll change your heart, I will cause you to overcome everything. I'll clean up everything for you. To just be still, let me do it. Of ourselves, we can do nothing, right? The outer world will also have you put your vices out there, and then they'll judge you as though they have no vices. They'll be mad at you, they'll gossip about you, they'll judge you, but they won't check themselves to see, well, who am I to judge? Let he without sin throw the first stone. They'll throw stones at you, but not at themselves. They take no responsibility. The outer world have us fighting amongst each other based on color, race, male, female crap, right? When we are all the same. There's not one that's different than the other. Not one. All have sinned, all the same, right? All of us have sinned. But those who come back to the Father, you're all the same. You're sons and daughters of God. Nothing special about you. But the world divides us and make us feel one is better, one is richer, one is handsome, one is pretty, one is this and one is that. One is your fault that this is happening, your fault that this is happening to me, when it's not true. But God said that of ourselves we can do nothing, and it's not our fault. We were born into this thing, and that we cannot change it. Paul said, remember when Paul had a thorn in his side or something? And over the years, I didn't think much about Paul's situation. When I heard it as a kid and a teenager, I used to hear the adult talk about Paul Thorn, and they were trying to figure out what it was. And people were literally guessing at what his thorn was. Some people said he was an alcoholic. Some people said he was gay. Some people said he was a slut maker. They didn't know what it was. You ever heard about Paul's thing? Paul said, of myself, I have this thing going on, and I'm paraphrasing. I have this thing going on in me, and I've been trying to overcome it. I've been hating it, I've been trying, but I realized once he was born again, he realized he couldn't do anything about it, so he stopped trying, and God took care of it. And so he never did tell what that thing was. But y'all tell it now. Have you ever thought about that? He never did tell her what his vice was. Don't let Oprah know you're not telling it. Come on, Oprah show and tell it all. And she'll go, oh, yeah, we all got that.
Read my book.
Yeah. And then you go on Oprah and you tell all your vices, and then she'll say, oh, I know how you feel. I went through the same thing. Hoppo beat me, right? And then you feel good for a minute, but it doesn't make you free. You feel good for a second for telling your vices to the world, but it doesn't set you free. And now when you're walking around and the world see you, they think that's who you are. They're judging you. I know of men and women who have attended different, over the years I've seen this, because I didn't grow up with this. I just started seeing it over the last 31 years or so. Men and women would go to meetings, and they would stand up and tell their personal vice in the public because they think they're all Christians and everybody trying to help one another, right? And then people judge them 31 years later about that. They don't trust you. They might let you know, might not let you know, but they're telling other people. Well, y'all tell your vices. I ain't telling my vices. Never have and never will. I turn mine over to the Lord because I realized I couldn't get over them. Y'all can keep doing that if you want. They're going to use it against you. Wait until you run for mayor or governor or school board or whatever, right? The first thing they're going to do is go to the computer and try to destroy you. They don't care about you. They can't do anything about it anyway. Why are you telling them? When I was growing up and anybody did that, they were like, what the? And our family taught us, keep your stuff to yourself. They can't do nothing. All they do is talk about you. So y'all stop that. The world tell you to do that. God tell you to be still and he would take care of it. He doesn't care about that. He cares about the heart. So don't be running around here telling all yourself, what? Can't nobody do anything about it anyway? Just think about that. You still got to go home and deal with it. You still got to walk through the world dealing with it. Only God can cause you to overcome it. It's the heart, not the vices. You've been lied to. In the good old days, that wasn't going on. I don't even know if my I know they had them now that I know that how the world works, right? I don't know my grandparents' vices, or my father, or my mother. or my aunt and uncle. I don't know. I know they had it. I'm sure they did because we all sinned, so you have to have them. But they didn't go around wearing them on their sleeves and telling everybody about it and all that. They said, take it to Jesus, and that's the right way. The world tell you that. Don't listen to the world. The Christians are being trained by the world. They're doing it the worldly way. And y'all need to see that we are all the same. I don't care how many degrees you have, how many preaching degrees you have, how big your house is or not, who you hang out with. Everybody got something to overcome. Some people do and some don't. Come out of your head about this mess. Really. What y'all thinking right now? Y'all just looking? Okay, let me take this young man first, and then here. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Samuel. I've been wondering, does kindness also create stillness in us?
Kindness?
Yeah, when we.
If it's the right kind, let's say you see a need that you should meet, absolutely. But if you're doing it for the wrong motivation, then that's not good. If you're being nice just so someone to be nice back to you, that's not good. But if you see a legitimate need and you want to help out or you want to be kind, nothing wrong with that. It's the motivation.
Okay. Yeah, because I kind of realized that a little while ago, and I wasn't too sure. I thought I'd bring it up today. And definitely, I think that's how a lot of people think. That's why they don't do the silent prayer.
Yeah.
Because they think you should forgive, like you mentioned, obviously. They should be kind.
No, you should be righteous.
Righteous.
Righteous is the way to go.
Okay.
And the Father will cause, when He change your heart from anger, He will cause you to become righteous as He is righteous. He will cause that to happen.
Okay.
And then in righteousness, you see the right way to go. You see how to treat all people. But if you're just trying to be kind to get along or make it in the world, that's not the right. That won't work.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Bill. I have a question. So, you know how telling your vices to people? So I used to go to this really big church, mega church, and they used to have this thing where you go minister yourself and you tell your vices to certain pastors and stuff like that. So is that wrong?
Yeah.
And what about therapy? That's not wrong, right?
Yes.
Therapy is wrong too?
Yes. And let me tell you why, because the therapists or therapy or whatever they are, they're not pointing you back to the source. They're not telling you, you know what, the vice is not the problem, the heart is the problem. They're not telling you, oh, I can't do anything about it. You got to forgive so that you can be free. They'll end up giving you medication, now you're walking around in your head high and messy.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you that it's you, they tell you that it's someone else. Because the only reason that we suffer as long as we do is that we've refused to forgive. We've been told that it's somebody else. It's nobody else. We forgive our parents because they should be perfect, right? And since we realize we're not perfect, so they weren't perfect, we forgive them. That's all you need. I can't help you, nobody can help you but God. So when people come to my office, I tell them, hey, do the silent prayer. It's about forgiveness. You have been turned away from the Father. So the vices will fall away. And I've learned over the years that that's what they do. You can't make yourself overcome the vice. You got to overcome the anger. Because it separates you from the tree of life.
Okay. So I have another question because I've been watching you for like 5 months.
Right.
So my other question is because I want to understand it, what do you mean when you say return to the Father? Because I would like you to break it down for me because I don't understand it. I like what it said, what I think it means.
Right.
And return to Jesus Christ, but I know I've returned to Jesus Christ like many times, no, because it's true.
I've been telling you.
Many times.
But you can't turn away once you return to.
Well,
once you're born of the Father, you cannot be unborn.
Well, that's how I've been conditioned.
Right.
These legalistic churches that I've gone to, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a spiritual order in life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. but it comes from the Father, right? And then, long story short, Adam and Eve happened. And so Adam had a good relationship with the Father, so the love was coming down the way it should be. He was in order. And then he got married, and then she went and listened to the serpent. And so, because for a while she was obeying him, making dinner, she didn't have to go to work. She was just pumping out babies. No, I'm playing. But she loved her husband who loved the Father. And she was happy being a woman. Then Satan came along and said, hey, like the world does, you don't want to let no man tell you to be home. You're just like the man. You're like, no, I'm not like the man. And I'm a woman, he's a man. Right. And then they come back again, you high. Remember that day I told you, you're like, yes, I remember. That man, I can't believe it. And then you listen to the lie, and once you believe the lie of the serpent, he became her God. So Eve would no longer obey Adam. Not at all, because she now have an ego that came from the serpent. She thinks she's her own woman. And then she finally got Adam to believe her. Adam, why you listen to your father? Your father, you're a beta male, right? You listen to your father. Get your own mind. Don't listen to your father. Your father ain't no good. And finally, she convinced him to believe it. And he believed her. And the moment he believed her, he could no longer believe the Father. And so, and Adam was born from the Father. He was not born from a woman. He was born from the Father.
Okay.
And so, so he believed the woman became his God. He's now subject to the woman. He's trying to get love from the woman. He's scared to tell her things. He was intimidated by his God. And so long story short, what happened after that, there was no way men and women can overcome that fallen state. They had no way out. And so God had to send another God that came from him and not from the woman. So he created Christ so that Christ would be born of the Father. Okay. And that way, when we believe the Son, we now believe back into the Father. And all men, whether they are weak or not, are sons of God. They've just been turned away from the Father. When they were turned away from their earthly fathers, they were turned away from the spiritual Father. Because the man represents God. He just doesn't remember it because he was turned away by his mother. But he does represent God.
Okay.
And so when you go and forgive your earthly father, he may be weak, and most of them are because they don't know how to return. But when you forgive your earthly father, God will forgive you. That's it.
Right.
The rest is easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, ooh.
You believe once you forgive your earthly father through him, you believe God.
Right.
Because they're like Christ. They're just in a fallen state, been turned away from the Father, but they're like Christ on earth.
Can I ask you a different question? It's a question that I've just been, it's been roaming around this thought. Do you think Eve slept with the devil? Is that what it means when she ate the apple?
Do I think
It's a real question.
Yeah, it is a real question, but I don't know.
But is it, do you?
let me tell you the reason I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because if you, let's say you didn't have anger, if your parents were perfect and you never had anger, you would never be attracted to sex. And so once she believed in him, that's when she got ready. But,
Yeah.
but if you never got, because anger awakened the emotions. They make you feel good or make you feel bad.
Right.
That comes from anger. But if you don't have that anger, no one can make you feel good or bad. And that way they can't control you. Because you now have perfect love from the Father. So you're not controlled by the world around you. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I do believe that the sex didn't come until after she got angry.
Yeah, okay. I just felt it hard to believe that she ate an apple. Like,
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly what it is. For me, I don't know exactly what it is at this point. But I do know that when you have peace within, nothing is missing. But if you don't have peace, you're always looking for something or somebody to make you feel good. And that's how the people control you. They make you feel good or they make you feel bad.
do you feel it's that way with music as well? Do you listen to I don't want to say earthly music because I feel that's just church talk.
Right.
But And I hate that. Yeah, I have hate. But I hate when they say, oh, earthlings, you're an earthling. Like, what does it mean I'm an earthling?
That's right.
But do you listen to music? Like, do you listen to, I don't know, the Rolling Stones, Tupac? Like,
You must
because
not
that
be
makes you
listening to
feel.
the show. I sing all the time on the show. Don't I sing? This is the day that life began. I enjoy music. Sorry, kind
Only because it makes you, because the reason I'm asking is because music makes you feel certain
right,
things.
but I don't, it's not my identity anymore. When I listen to music, I'm not trying to make myself feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because God made the voices. He must have wanted you to sing, right?
Yeah.
Remember how David sang and danced? In the Bible, David sang and danced, but before when I would listen to music, I listened to music to feel good because I was sad or
Right.
I lost my woman. I was sitting at the dock of the bay, driving up and down the 405 like I'm crazy, tears everywhere. But now when I listen to music, it's not to get an identity from it.
I see.
I
That
can
makes
enjoy
sense.
good music. Nick and I were back there singing this morning.
Did I hear you singing this morning?
Nick and I was singing. We were
Oh,
playing this.
you were naked and singing? I don't know. I'm sorry, Jesse. I love you, but sometimes.
Wishful thinking.
No. No. I'm
No,
sorry. This is not on TV, right? Oh.
No, I said Nick and I was singing.
Oh, I see. Nick. I didn't know your name was Nick. Oh.
That's the anchor baby.
Oh. Yes, I've seen you. You're funny.
But we were playing. I was
Yeah.
playing this song. This is the day. What's this called, Nick? What's it? This is the day the Lord has made, or something.
I don't know the name of the song, but the guy's name is Phil Vischer.
It's a really nice song.
Yeah? Okay.
And so we were singing. But once you come back to the Father, you're gonna you're gonna enjoy it. God made it possible to sing. He just didn't want you to get an identity from it, to replace that over Him. We must love God with all our heart, all our soul, all our might, along with nothing else, right? So I'm not in love with music, but I can enjoy a nice music. That's what it's for. That makes sense?
That makes sense, yeah. I was just talking, the emotion part and how music sometimes makes you feel, like you said, the woman dumped you and you were crying and you were
Right.
driving, that. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, here.
Did that make sense though?
No, that made sense, yeah.
We've been taught wrong in the churches, in the schools, in the homes. They have made us more emotional and worse rather than setting us free.
Right?
Everything they've taught us has been wrong. It's totally been wrong. The world said we should judge one another, but God said we should forgive one another. God forgive the murderer, the rapist, the robber, or the lesbians, or the homosexuals, or the drug addict. He forgive. What's the name of that man that there was like? What do you call those people that go around killing a whole bunch of people?
Terrorists?
What? Serial murders? Yeah. He forgive them,
So,
but he would judge them.
right. Okay, so the Bible does say, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Bible does say, judge nothing, or honestly, I don't really read the Bible that much but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope I don't sound ignorant, but that's
No,
what
don't
I'm
worry
hearing.
about that. We all are.
No, I know.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no. Okay, so the Bible has a verse, and I'm not sure what verse this is, but the Bible says, judge nothing, but judge it all.
And that's what happens when you discern.
Okay, so that's
You
discernment.
will see it, but you won't judge it. You won't hate it. It won't make you angry.
I
And that's
see.
what discernment is. And that way you don't play God.
That makes sense.
Because we can't judge one another. No one, not one human being. Jesse Peterson or no one, because we all come into sin. So no one can judge each other.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not gonna hog up the microphone.
No, you can hard, you come a long way.
No, it wasn't that far.
It was,
No, because I think you wanted to see.
come back, hey.
Come back.
Yeah.
Come back. I'm back.
Yeah. But do you understand it? I really want you to understand that because, and the reason I'm so serious about it now, but yet not tripping out serious, I counsel with people around the world, and it's all the same. And they all been trained the wrong way. You know, they've been told this is the problem, that is the problem, and they grow up thinking that they can fix their own life, they can repair, and they can't, and they're suffering. And the moment they realize, wow, that makes sense, because they can see where I'm coming from, it makes sense, and then they're like, they can change. But they spend a whole lifetime suffering unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Christ has already suffered for us. And he made it possible so we can overcome our little stuff. That's all.
I have another question for you.
Yeah.
And then I'll give her the microphone.
I got this.
What? Oh.
Right.
You guys, oh, you do. Oh, I'm not controlling. You're controlling this.
Right.
Oh, okay.
What the?
I'm kidding.
No.
Okay, so where'd you get your? I don't idolize you, obviously, right? But I respect you and I think you're funny and stuff. But where do you get all your wisdom from? Like,
That's a good question. How do you see me?
how do I see you?
Yes.
I see you as gosh, wow, you ask deep questions. Let me see. How do I see you? As a wise man.
I'm glad you didn't say old man.
No. I was gonna
No,
ask
I'm
if
fine
you
with
want to
that.
marry me.
Huh?
Do you want to marry me?
What?
I'm kidding.
Do I want to marry you?
Yeah. I told my
This is the
dad.
second proposal I got.
Oh no, hold on. Slow down. I didn't give you a ring.
Yeah. And so,
I see you as an older, wise man. Like, I just see
do
you
you
full of
see me
wisdom.
any differently than you see your friend or this guy or anyone else?
Well, I don't see that you as a person have more value than my cousin, than him. No, I think, but I see, because I hear you speak every morning. I watch your show, and I've gone to other churches, and I've heard other pastors, and
Right.
it's gone through here and come out through here.
Right.
And just by YouTube alone, like, I've learned a lot from your show. So how do I see you as a wise person? So
But do you see Jesse, the person, any differently than you see yourself?
no, it's kind of hard for me to articulate it, but I feel like I've come out of like this legalistic mentality, and maybe I've been taught wrong for many years.
Yeah, you have.
No, I have.
Because the one thing I can absolutely tell you, everything you're looking for, everything you are, everything you need is inside now. It's in us. It's not outside at all. It's inside. And that's why he gave a new kingdom, a new reality, a new world, and it's inside. And we must only look inside and not on the outside for anything.
Right. No, I don't idolize you, but I respect. No, I don't idolize you.
No, I wasn't thinking that. I'm just wondering, how do you see me? Do
I know I see
me?
you as wisdom, because I guess, and forgive me for this, but I'm comparing you to other pastors that I've gone to church,
Yeah.
mega churches and stuff, and they've never really like hit a spot in me, like,
Right.
and now when I hear you, and I respect my father, and I think he's a wise man, and he's like, oh, who is this guy? Like, let's hear, what he has to say. He's like, I agree with Jesse 100%. Like, wow, and so not that we're idolizing you, but we.
No, I'm not thinking that. I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, because I just want to make it clear.
Right.
But
I'm not thinking that at all.
No. I understand.
No.
But we just like I've never heard a pastor speak the truth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm just wondering, is this something that you studied? Is it something that came from God?
I'm going to tell you that in a minute. It's a very good question.
Yeah.
That's what prompted me to ask you that question.
Mm-hmm.
Not just that, other things too. Let me ask Hassan, and I'll come to you in a minute here. Hassan, how do you see me?
It's like you read my mind, and because I literally was just thinking that, and I was gonna. It's funny because my girlfriend is always like, "You Jesse Jr." and stuff like that, and then listening to her say that, I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if that's true. I think I do. First of all, I love you, and second of all, I think I do love you more than, I know you say like love everyone the same or something like that, but
Yep.
I just right now was thinking, I don't think I do love Jesse more than most people. Because most people haven't been the living example of Christ in my life. Like, so I know you say like Christ is our brother, and so I look at you like a brother, but I do love you more.
Do you see me differently than you see yourself or other people? This is such a good question, huh? I learned something about this. I came to learn this, the reason I'm asking this. I really did, because I didn't know. I'm from the cotton fields of Alabama. I don't even know how I got here. But
Yes,
yes, what?
I do look at you different.
Then you see me differently than you see yourself.
Not myself.
Do you see me the same as you see yourself?
Yes,
And how's that?
because you pointed me back to myself. So you are a mirror.
Okay.
And I think Christ was a mirror. And
He was.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson. There's other people too, but 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 anyway, but yeah. So and I don't, and I do think other people are mirrors also, but to see somebody walking that is this idea of Christ is like, that makes it different to me.
Okay.
And before even just right this second, before you called on me, I always struggled with that because I would tell my girl like, no, I don't put Jesse, you know, let no man teach you. Jesse ain't teaching me. And, but because you were the mirror and pointed me back to, you know, myself and everything, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let me ask you, black guy, Lord have mercy. How do you see me? Yeah.
I just see you as like a guide or somebody that's going to point us in the right direction.
So what now?
Somebody that's going to point in the right direction.
Do you see me any differently than you see yourself?
Yeah. Yes.
You see me differently than you see yourself?
Yeah. I see you as somebody that's like, I mean, I don't know, I can't like judge your heart like you say, but I see you as somebody that's closer to God. Like, it's like you found like a path.
But so am I different than you?
Yeah.
In what way?
And that you're closer to God.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Is that about this? Okay, how do you see, have you ever thought about that? How do I see Jesse?
When you brought up I don't know, in one of, like a show or a church or something, you brought up like, you know, every man should lead himself and no man should have a leader. And yeah, it made me question, like, because you're kind of like a leader, you know, you're the pastor. I guess every pastor is a leader, and everybody that points you in the right way is somewhat of a leader, because without them, you wouldn't have anybody to follow. So, yeah, man, I saw you as a leader, and I guess I had to just kind of correct myself, like look at myself and kind of step into that role myself. How do I be a leader? How do I be my own leader? Or how do I not have this man who's pointing me in the right direction, not be my leader?
Right.
So.
Okay. Amazing. Yes, ma'am. How do you see me?
Like he said, I see you as a, I don't know if the word is leader, but I think I see you as somebody that, you know, everybody's in this path, and some people are like farther away in the path. Some others are like, or just beginning the path or something like that. I feel like I'm just beginning the path of being 100% with God.
Right.
And you are farther away, right? But you had the same opportunities. You're like similar as me in the sense of like we can all do it, right? We all are capable of. So I don't see you different in that way.
Do you see me any differently than you see your own husband?
No, I don't see you different because I think that's what I was gonna tell you.
Who would you go to first for advice, me or your husband?
My husband. I've been I've been going to my husband for questions.
What?
I've been going to my
Well, prior
husband.
to that, would you go to me first or your husband?
At the beginning,
Yeah.
I was going to you.
And
Yeah.
why was that?
Because I didn't trust my husband. I had resentment
Oh, I
to
see.
him, and I had to like shed a lot of those resentments.
Yeah.
Because those resentments made me have an ego about it. So I needed somebody like in the middle. That was you, to like help me see.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I felt like whatever you were constantly saying is like you have to trust him. Like you just have to get over and trust him. And I did that, and it's amazing. And that's the point that I was gonna say. I think as a woman should look up to their husband.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're similar in the sense of like God loves us the same, and we have the same opportunities to go to Him, you know. But I look up to my husband because I know he's less emotional. He's in a better path,
Nice.
and a lot of things. And that's how I see you. You're just farther away than me. Like I'm just beginning, and you're an inspiration, you know.
Nice.
But I wanted to ask one last question.
Okay.
About the music is really great. I listen to
You
music.
say what I sing is really great?
No.
What you say? I was gonna say you're right.
No, about the music thing. It's really quick. I listen to music to go to the gym,
Oh,
to pump myself up. Is that bad?
I don't know.
Because I sometimes I don't want to go, and I have to like listen to music that had like a certain beat, so it like wakes me up. But I don't know if that's wrong. I don't know.
I wouldn't call it good or bad. Really,
'Cause
you just do it.
Yeah.
Don't be putting names on everything.
Well, I feel like it's an emotion, right? You're like,
But if it is, just notice it. But
Yeah.
don't be saying, "Oh Lord, is this good or evil?" Am I trying to escape?
no,
You
I don't know
what
if
I'm
I'm distracting myself from really
saying?
going.
Well, pay attention to yourself, and you'll see.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay.
Just pay attention to it, but
Yeah.
don't judge it.
Yeah.
So I got to ask 2 more people this, and then I got to move on. All right, right here. How do you see Jesse with the American flag? Yeah.
As an older brother, as a wise brother, like I would go to you for problems, you know.
Right.
Not there's. I believe like you're only lucky to find 1 or 2 confidants in life that will tell you the truth, even though you don't want to hear it. You know,
Right.
And it's something precious to hold on to.
Do you see me any differently than you see any other human being?
No, like not. I'm assuming you're saying like if I would put you in front of somebody else.
Like, yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be. I don't think I put people in order like that, I guess.
Okay. Amazing. Had you ever thought about that before?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I think before I would be more looking for someone to tell me what to do in life instead of guiding me what to do in life.
There you go. Absolutely. How you see me, Big Bump? Did y'all know that this is Big Bump? I thought it was Derek. I thought it was Derek, but it's Big Bump.
No, it's Derek. Go ahead.
How
Say
you
it
see
again.
Jesse?
It was funny. The same way he said it. They're like a older brother. I see you as a wise man, for sure.
And do you see me any differently than you see you?
No,
Or how about the other men and women?
no,
Oh, okay.
not at all.
Nice. And the last one, Marlene. Marlene, how do you see Jesse?
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Marlene.
I see you like an older uncle, an example for
We can leave the
sure.
older part out, please.
You look amazing for your age, of course, okay?
Yeah,
You're
that's
definitely
right.
way stronger than any 74-year-old I've met.
Who's 74?
I think you are, right? According to my calculations, I think you're 74.
Doesn't she need a new calculator? I'm 72 and I'm 4. That's not
My
Russian.
bad.
It's coming fast
Sorry,
enough.
But yes, I
Oh, I
see
see
you.
you as an older, wiser guy, 74.
I'm sorry.
But go ahead. No, I'm playing. I'm joking.
But yeah, it's an example. It's an example for sure. Somebody that is guiding a lot of us that are kind of confused or lost to the direction of the Father. So yeah, but I don't see you different, like you're more than me or anything like that. No.
Nice. And you see everybody the same.
Yes.
Good. The reason I ask this because, let me ask Marlene for you. So do you see Bond as a cult?
No. They do tell us that we're kind of cultish because of certain terminology that we use, but no, not at all.
But when you like walking around here, do you see any cult signs or something?
No.
Or anything? Colt water, anything?
No.
Right. Any Kool-Aid?
No.
Anybody offer you any Kool-Aid?
Not at all.
I know. But you don't see any cult signs or anything, right?
No, not at
Okay.
all. No. Again, it's just probably just terminology that we use, like the hierarchy and things like that. But I think people that are really seeking the truth will be able to see it, that this is the truth, this is what God has for us.
Yeah.
You may not be citing scripture identical to like many pastors, right? But I believe, and I do, it's been over a year that I've been coming, but I can see your message. I can see it in scripture. So it's just being, I guess, open.
Oh, okay. Have you seen any cult signs since you've been coming? Right here. Yeah.
Father or the Son?
The Son. I'm sorry, the Father. And then the Holy Ghost. Is something going on around here that says we're a cult?
Nothing at all. I wouldn't know why you would say that, but.
Okay, I'll tell you in a minute. And how about the Son? You see it? Because you're young, you see it if it was here.
No.
No, huh?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. So the reason I asked that because I noticed that people like me until they get mad at me. And then when they get mad at me, they go out and they say, oh, that's a cult. Or they say all kind of things, right? But I often wonder, why don't they say it while they're here? If I was coming to a cult meeting, at some point, wouldn't I say, are you a cult leader? You know what I'm saying? Or I would go on the old video. I have a bunch of old, 31 years of videos now, James been putting out there. And I would look on there for the cult sign. And so I've been wondering about that. How come they say it later, but they don't say it, and they'll come for years and never say it. They seem happy, they agree and disagree, they pretend they're being helped. But once they get angry, it's a total story out there. They become bad witnesses and untrue witnesses to this, you know what I'm saying? And then this is so deep for me, and I'm so glad I'm learning about it. In their mind, and I don't know this is happening, in their mind, they don't see me as they see themselves and others. Even if I say, I'm just Jesse, I have to pray, I had to overcome the fallen state, and all that stuff. For some reason, their mind tells them differently. And I think I know what it is, kind of what you said. In me, because everything I'm doing, I had nothing to do with it. God knew I had vices before he decided, hey, let me use you. He already knew that, right? He knew I had vices before he allowed me to see. He knew I had vices before he started to put me out there to tell the truth, that he would clean that up. He changed my heart first, right? And then that. But yet he used you. He's not into the vices the way human beings are. He doesn't care about that. He cares about the heart. And he wants you to spread the word forgiveness, return to the Father. And he's taking care of everything else. But it seems like people don't think that preachers and professional, so-called experts and things, it seems like the people don't think they have vices or something. You know what I'm saying? But they never say that to them because normal people don't go around promoting their vices. You can't do anything about it. Abnormal people do that, right? But the judger is believing the lies in their head. He thinks he's better. Oh, he doesn't have vices, right? Or this or that. But they'll judge you for what they think with no proof or anything. But they don't see, and I wonder, the disciples, they all had vices. Did y'all know that? And they were used in a mighty way. And so, I want you to know this because God judged differently than the world does. Then you treat each other, right? God knows we all born in sin and we got to overcome. He changed their hearts so that he can use you to help get the message out. Forgive, return to love. Don't worry about anything else. He'll change you. But we are all literally the same. When you really, really think about it, every human being born in sin. Nobody had perfect parents that I met yet. Hopefully now that you guys are waking up and those who get married and start a family, you'll be perfect for your children. You'll start a new generation. But we are all the same. And so when you see me talking, I'm learning as I'm talking, because a lot of stuff I ain't know I know until I say it, right? But I see how he's changed my life. But so what you see is the light of the Father in me. But that's not me. You know what I'm saying? It's not Jesse. Jesse still has to pray. He has to wait upon the Father so the Father clean up his house. He is no different than anyone else. You just see the light in me working through me. That's the Father in me. It's not me. I'm a human being just like everybody else. I'm just not that dumb where I tell all my business to the public. That's the only difference, right? But I was raised that way. And I remember, I never, even in my fallen state, when I was partying every night at the clubs and all kind of stuff, right? I don't care how high I got, I still didn't tell my business. I wasn't that high. So stop it, folks. The world, God is not holding that against you. So stop telling people your stuff and stop holding it against yourself. Really. When you wake up, you're going to stop judging yourself anyway. It's going to automatically stop because you're going to see you can't change anything. All right? But all human beings are the same, and they're not worthy to be put up on a throne. Because if you put them on the throne, you're going to believe in them and not in God. Don't try not to put them on the throne, just don't do it. You'll see that we're all the same. Don't try anything. I remember when I first started barn, I used to try to make people see that I'm just them. I'm no different, right? So I would accept invitations to little parties and things and go to dinner because I wanted the people to see that I would, and this is when I first started out, that I was no different than them. Because I could see that they were kind of treating me a little different, but inwardly I knew I wasn't, right? So I would try to go and be natural. But then when I would go to the parties, people would gather around me at the party and tell me all their problems. I couldn't even enjoy the party because they were making me work. And so I'm like, I'm not going to any more parties, I'm going to stay home. And so I stopped going to parties because they would not treat me as they would treat anybody else. They wouldn't let me party. I couldn't even get drunk. They pass the wine around, I have to say no. Because I got to stay sober so I can counsel. Isn't that amazing? But we're all the same, folks. And what you see in me is the Father working through me. He's teaching me as I'm teaching you, or talking to you, fellowship, whatever you want to call it, right? He's changing me as he's changing you guys. I'm no different. But you can appreciate me, but you ain't got to put me on no throne. I'm just Jesse. You should appreciate me by helping out, doing what you do, helping us to help others. But really, it's just Jesse. It's just whomever. It's just, same thing with Donald Trump. I have the utmost respect for Donald Trump. Most people know that. And I said on my show, Donald Trump is a wise man. He's smart. He is a Christian. He knows what he's doing. But make sure you keep a little space there in between so that when he does say or do something that you don't agree with, you don't turn on the man. Because he's going to eventually say or do something that you're not going to agree with. And if you made him your God or you thought he would, you put him on the throne, the moment he said or did something you didn't like, oh, I don't like Donald Trump no more. He supported the LGBTQ. Or he didn't put the wall up. That doesn't, if Donald Trump support all that, that's Donald Trump. But look at what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But the reason you turned on him because you made him your God and he didn't know it, and you listened to your thoughts, you made him your God, you turn on him, then you blame him for you turning on him. You don't even take responsibility. Well, why did I turn on Donald Trump? What made me angry at him? What's wrong with me that I'm angry at Donald Trump? Donald Trump never said he was God, but I treated him as he was God. And now I'm mad because God didn't do this, or he didn't say this, or he said that. Think about that. That's because you made him your God. He didn't tell you to do that. And Donald Trump is not here to read your mind, as I can't read your mind. That's why you got to do what you want. Doubt every thought, folks, about anything at all times, because the thoughts are wicked. And there's no truth in thoughts. Zero truth in thought. Because the thoughts will make you judge your fellow man and make you feel like you're righteous in judging. And it will prevent you from looking at you for being wrong for judging. You get mad at someone and you feel right about being mad at them. And you want to condemn them but not yourself for being mad. Isn't that like something? What do you think about this? And I had to learn this stuff the hard way, and I'm so grateful for every lesson. Really. It's been interesting. Because just think about this. When God entered my life, I was in a fallen state. Just like everybody else, right? I had no plan to do what I'm doing today. I never walked down the road thinking, one day I'm going to be a preacher. I want to be a preacher. That never occurred to me. I never knowingly wanted to be that, or any of that kind of stuff, right? But yet he saw a reason to use me. Now y'all need to ask him about that, right? Why Jesse, not me? I have no degrees. I don't write out speeches or plans or anything. He is causing me to do it. If I had to do this on my own will, or if I had a will, right, in my own will, I wouldn't be doing this. I would have quit a long time ago. Really, I would have packed up a long time ago. And then they accuse me of brainwash. I don't even know how to brainwash. What the? Matter of fact, I'm starting to understand brainwashing though, now that I'm paying attention, I hear it a lot. I am starting to understand how it works. And the thing I didn't know is that when I was asleep, you know, when they were turned away from the Father, I didn't know I was asleep, you know, away from the Father. And so you would believe things that was not true because you were unconscious. And I didn't know that until he made me conscious. And so everyone that's unconscious, it's easy for you to believe lies. Because you don't even know you believe in lies. I was telling James this morning, I think it was this morning, when I moved to California at 18, and then I'll come to you too. When I moved to California at 18, I was starting to hear the race hustlers talk about how bad white people were. The NAACP and Louis Farrakhan, all those guys, they were blaming white people and talking about white people. I was a young man, I was 18 years old, 18, 19. And eventually I heard it so much, and I didn't hear any opposition to it. I didn't hear anyone saying, no, that's not true. White people are not holding black people down. White people are not racist against white people. I never heard any opposition to it, so eventually I believed it. Because no one said it wasn't true. And even if white folks were saying, oh yeah, we're guilty. And so I started to believe it. And when I believed that lie, I went for years believing a lie. I started looking at white people in that way, believing it, because I believed it to a lie. And it wasn't until I overcame the anger that I was able to see that that was a lie, that wasn't true. And that they had brainwashed me to believe that so that they could use me for personal gain. Everybody who has anger is brainwashed. You're unconscious and don't know it. You believe things that's not true. You overreact to things that you should not be overreacting to. God does not want you to overreact. He wants you to be still and know him. And if he could use a man from a plantation, he'll use you. But he needs you to seek him, come back to him, and he will guide you. I didn't plan to do anything I'm doing here. Never. And I've never had a plan. I had, at one time when I was and I've said this before, when I moved out here, I just want to be a player. That was my biggest goal. I wanted to have a red sports car. Because black people love red. I wanted to have a bunch of clothes, and I wanted to have my place to live, and I wanted to have a bunch of women. That was my goal. Isn't that an amazing goal? But my plan didn't go my way. I did end up getting the red sport car and all that, but I lost it all, meaning that. I lost it in that it had no more value to me in that way. But I'm telling you, we're all the same. We're all born in sin. And no one is better than the other. Nobody. And we need to have the truth out there. You need to be telling the truth. You need to oppose the lie. And if people get mad at you, and they will, don't take it personally. They can't help it. But you got to put it out there, because just think of the next generation, if they don't hear the truth, then they're going to believe the lie. They're going to believe that Bruce Jenner is a girl. They will believe it. They're going to believe in the LGBTQ thing. And now they're trying to change the name where adults can have sex with kids. Did y'all see that video? What was that, Chris? Nick, wasn't it? Do you remember it, Chris?
He's right here.
Oh, what was that guy saying to change the name of that?
Yeah, it was this professor from Old Dominion University in Virginia somewhere, Alan Walker, talking about minor attractive persons instead of calling them pedophiles.
Yeah.
Minor attracted person. I'm just a person who's attracted to minors, not a pedophile.
You know something? But doesn't that sound so fancy though?
Yeah, playing with words.
Yeah, they changed the word minor, what? Attracted to what?
A minor attracted person.
Yeah. Does that sound like an old man want a pedophile? Which word is more effective? You know what I mean? Right, pedophile. But because you're hypnotized with anger, you'll forget the word pedophile and you'll start accepting the lie. You really will, because you're brainwashed with the anger. All right? Do what you want with this, but we're all the same. Watch those thoughts. Every thought is a lie all the time. Thoughts are wicked. They're not from God. And that's why you need to return to the Father, and He will shine the light on the thoughts and separate you from them. And you'll just live your life. You really will. And so when I see you, I see the light in you. But I don't see you as my God or special than me or anything. And they treat women like women are special. And now women are crazy as a doorknob. Women are not special. What do you think about that?
I don't care, because oh.
Have you noticed that they treat women like they're special?
No, I'm Latina, obviously, you can tell.
Special?
But
No,
no, I am special, but I'm special to God.
That's right.
But I've always been a firm believer that men and women are not equal, because I'm not as strong as a man. And of course I want to be successful, right? But I forgot what I was going to say.
But have you noticed that men have been taught to treat women like they're special? Don't correct that woman. Don't call that woman the B word. Don't do this, right? And the woman like smacking you. Don't smack that woman. What?
Well, the whole thing, like, I can't, sorry, men, but there isn't, what is it, chivalry? I can't pronounce that word. No, chivalry. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. But I feel like women are to blame for that.
Yeah.
Because women just like seek men and they want to be just like men. And
Yeah, absolutely.
And it kind of messes it up for.
Chivalry mean open the car door for them and stuff like that?
It's stuff
What's
like.
chivalry mean?
Or like roses, or I mean, I can't
That
even
would
get a bag of
naturally
candy.
happen when the human beings are decent. That would naturally happen. You would naturally buy your lady some flowers, but not to make her, to tiptoe around her, you know?
No. I don't.
You do it out of appreciation. Or if the car door, I had to yell at Nick the other day. If Nick has his big car, big black police car. Y'all seen it?
Victoria?
And so the car door is real heavy. And he would park next to my car. And his girlfriend, Nick, went around and jumped in his car door. And his girlfriend was tussling with the big door. She didn't want to hit my car with the door. I'm like, Nick, open that car door for what you doing? He's sitting up under the steering wheel ready to go. And she's tussling with this big old 2 tons of door.
That is so bad. That's messed up.
Isn't that messed up? So if he had in the chivalry, he would have gone to hell, right? He was all happy. He didn't care.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I know. He really took the words equal right to the.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Last word. We got to end. Yes, sir.
Do you really believe all thoughts are lies?
No, I know all thoughts are lies.
You tell a story about how when you were a boy, God made it thunder and rain for you.
God did what?
You made God make it thunder and rain for you.
I asked him to let it rain. Yeah.
Is that thought a lie?
That wasn't a thought. It was just something I wanted to do. It occurred to me that because we have been taught that whatever you ask God, He would do it for you.
Who taught you that?
Oh man, what the?
Are you able to doubt?
My parents taught me that.
Are you able to doubt that thought?
No. Because that's not a thought.
You say if you're not able to let something wait. If you can't hold on to something, let it go. All right. How's that saying go? If you're not able to let something go, don't hold on to it. I think you should let go of that thought you had when you were. How old were you when you had that thought?
I don't know where you lead us in.
I think it was the devil that. I think it was the devil and not God that.
Take the mic.
Made
He's
you.
high.
How old were you when you had that
See,
thought?
he's high.
Oh, you're running. He's
yeah,
running.
I'm running.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the run. But y'all understand, right? You gotta seek the prayer, do the silent prayer, doubt every thought. If you want to believe him, believe him. All right? I'm not, no sweat off my back. Believe them if you want to. That's up to you. But I'm telling you, the Father sent His Son that you might be free. And don't put anyone, don't ever judge anyone over you. Treat everybody with love, with patience, with honesty, but don't judge them. That's why when we come here, we fellowship. I don't want to teach you because we've been taught away from God. We really have. And it's so easy to be taught in that English state, that fallen state, you don't even realize you're being taught. You want the teacher within. There is a teacher within, and He will teach you all things. That makes sense? Anybody disagree with anything they've heard today or need me to try to make it clear or anything? Okay. And don't try to make yourself be this way. He will cause you to become this way. He will live in you, and He will guide you. Of ourselves, we can do nothing. So stop judging yourself. Try not to take that drink or smoke that joint, but if it gets so bad on you, you got to have it. Be aware of yourself doing it, right? But don't judge it, all right? Let me take this hand, and that's it. It's 12:30. I'm on time. Where, Chris? I'm on time, and I won't be judged.
Hi. Oh.
Yes.
Good morning. Earlier
it's
you
so
mentioned.
It's easy living this way too. I'm telling you, it's easier this way.
Yeah,
Yes.
earlier you mentioned that only animals overreact.
Yes.
And then I think on Friday's show or Thursday, that people in the fallen state live like animals.
Yeah, that's why they're overreacting like an animal.
Yeah, I actually have an amazing story. On my way over here, I rode my bike over here because it makes no sense to drive since I live so close.
Yes.
I actually got ran over by a car. By the grace of God, nothing happened to
Right
me,
on.
but my shoes ripped up a little bit. My bike got a little twisted, but I felt like bursting out, but I didn't. I felt like I handled it really well, but
Right on, man.
but man, it was so hard, Jesse.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody will get angry, you know, because I had the green light. You know, I don't know why the guy didn't stop.
But you can deal with that issue without overreacting to it. You still could have gotten up since you weren't hurt and dealt with it.
Yeah, nothing
But-
happened. You know, just my shoes.
And that's
got
when
ripped
you
up, but-
grow. When you stop overreacting, you start to grow from within. But when you overreact, you're dying. That's the way God got it set up. When you overreact, you're dying. I don't care what the situation is. But when you be still through it, and you're growing in the Father, you're growing.
He
You're becoming amazing.
apologized. He apologized, but I felt bad for not acknowledging it. I just kept going, you know. But
Oh.
man, I could have burst it out, saying, you know, making a big scene, and I'm going to sue you, this and that. But I mean, I didn't overreact, you know. So I
Nice,
felt like
man.
I handled it good, but I felt bad not saying, oh, you know, don't worry about it. But I just kept going.
Well, let that feeling pass.
Yeah, it's
because
gone.
If it meant for you to say, okay, it would have happened.
Yeah.
The fact that you noticed that you didn't overreact to it is the way to go.
It's just a life experience. That's life.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
But just don't overreact to it. Yeah.
Because when you overreact, you go crazy when you overreact. You be overreacting all the time because things are always happening.
Yeah.
You go nuts. But when you don't overreact, you become silent, and you deal with things in a perfect way. Who was the last person? Oh yeah, last person. Yes, sir.
This is for the question you were talking about earlier about like how do people see you or how
Yeah.
do you see you, whatever. I noticed that.
I don't even try to make people see me as regular now anymore. I just be myself, because people gonna see things the way they see them anyway. So I'm just.
Black
If you
and
see
Ace
me
of
as
Spades,
me,
yeah.
fine. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, but like even earlier, I was just thinking to myself like, oh, people. It's almost like you could tell, because we had a conversation yesterday too, and you could tell when people are trying to put someone on a pedestal or they're trying to make someone their god or whatever. Because I noticed that when like say you say one little thing off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they want to question you, you know what I mean? But they won't do that to anybody else.
Yeah.
They just question you. And that's how I started noticing, like,
That's
people
a
will
good
leave.
point.
Yeah, like right now, that guy, he wanted to say something stupid, like that was so irrelevant.
And he high.
Well, I don't know if he's high.
No, I know
he
you're
could have
high.
been retarded, but the thing is, like, and it doesn't matter. Like everybody, we deal with certain things, but I just noticed like it's a controlling thing, and I think God gets rid of that spirit once, obviously if you meditate on Him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, oh, maybe that's what it is. It's just that people are trying to they're trying to look for a leader, because a lot of us are sheep, So they're looking for a leader, and then as soon as something doesn't go their way, because they want to be controlling.
They want to destroy the leader.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, like with Donald Trump, if Donald Trump doesn't do what they say with one little thing, they want to destroy him.
Well, it's just controlling, I
Yeah,
think.
it
That's
is.
what I think. And if you're not falling into their control, they just want to just act up,
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I'm
Well, I see everybody the same. I didn't in the Father's sake. I couldn't see, so I didn't see everybody the same. I thought people were mean and nice and this and that. But it's the same spirit in the Father's state, and it's the same spirit when you wake up. All right? I hope this helped a little bit, that you start paying attention now. And really, if the two things you need to do is doubt every thought and stay with the silent prayer. And when situations come, go within and stay calm and overcome it. It'll be painful sometimes because you're in your head and the thoughts are feeding the pain. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. It really will. All right? So I really appreciate it. Do the silent prayer, doubt every thought. But you got to do the prayer. And a lot of people are just not doing it. And I can't make you do it. I'm just pointing the way to the source. All right? I have to do the prayer. And I'm glad now because it's just, I recognize the voice of the Father now in the same way I used to recognize the voice of Satan. I can tell now when Satan is talking to me. I have no doubt about it. And I can tell now when it's the voice of the Father. You're trying to make these guys judge me. Okay. Go real fast.
Just real quick. I just wanted to say that in kind of response to what he just said, I was talking to this guy yesterday, and he was like talking about churches and how the pastor, or the shepherd of the sheep, and he was like, yeah, like the shepherd isn't taking care of the sheep of the congregation, and I looked at him, and it just was like the Spirit spoke to me, and I was like, well, my shepherd makes more shepherds. And that's what I was meaning by being the mirror of like letting us know it's within and not being the person in between, and just, so that's all.
God said, let no man teach you. Why would you trust anybody that's trying to teach you? He said, don't let anyone teach you. He also said, trust no angry person. Trust no angry person. They have a heart of stone. They will turn on you. Why would you trust an angry person? You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't walk around not trust, oh, let me see, I ain't gonna trust that. You got anger, Yes, I have it. I ain't trusting you. Not like that. Just be aware. Because you gotta hang out with folks, and you got to, but enjoy your life, right? But don't walk around like, you know what I mean, right? Don't be crazy with it. So do the silent prayer and all that. Thank you all. Thank you for coming too. But thank you all very much. Any announcement, Ernest?
Women's Forum.
This Thursday? Nice. Ladies, is this the third Thursday already? Wow. Ladies Forum this Thursday. We're gonna have it, and I want all the ladies to show up. I have something really important I want to share with you, all right? So you can, this Thursday at 7 p.m. right here at Bond. Also, we're gonna do your Super Chats and D-Lives tomorrow on the show, Jesse Lee Peterson show. And if you would like to get a copy of our newsletter, we're about to put our end of the year newsletter, we need your P.O. box or your address. And we don't give them out to anyone, but the newsletter is amazing. So you definitely, if you want one, no cost, make sure we get you can go to rebuildingtheman.com and make sure we get your address and stuff like that, all right? And thank you for your donations and your tithes and offers. I do appreciate it. And thank you all for coming. It was amazing today. Thank you. Thank you, okay. Amazing. So I want to welcome the visitors.